Good morning, Vikes. I'm pole vault superstar Blaine Brown.
I'm Zach, and you're watching HNHS Today for Wednesday, May 17th.
There will be a brief call-up meeting with Mr. Gooden during homeroom for boys volleyball.
Seniors need to check with the cashiers during lunch or breakfast about lunch balances. Any outstanding balances need to be paid in full. If you need a refund under $10, please go to the food services office during lunch. Any amount over $10 will be either refunded by check or transferred to a sibling.
Walkway meets every Wednesday after school. Here you can walk, talk, and eat snacks.
Now let's go to weather with Parker.
Good morning, folks. We're just getting ready to close out this year, but regardless, today is going to be another beautiful day. A high of 68 with a low of 41. Could have a couple of gusts and on the northeast around 10 to 20 miles an hour as well. But regardless, it's going to be sunny and dry today, so get out and enjoy that sun. Now, as we head into our 7-day forecast, you can see here, man, absolutely gorgeous all this week into next week. Pretty much multiple days of 70s or near 80-degree weather, with being sunny and dry all this week and the next week. Now, shower and rain does come back in next week and the next weekend. Again, those are moderate chances, but again, beautiful, beautiful week ahead of us regardless. We're going to stay pretty dry and warm throughout the next 8 to 14 days. You can see here we're in above average area for warm temps and below average for precipitation. So we're going to dry out and be warm. So everyone, get out there and enjoy that sun.
Thanks, Parker. Now on to sports.
On Saturday, the boys track team had a 9th and 10th grade invitational. Huntington North placed 6 out of 14 teams. In the 200 meters, Tatum Brooks placed 3rd. In the 400 meters, Tony Decker placed 2nd. And in the 110 hurdles, Eli Oswald placed 4th. In the 4x100 meter relay of Malachi Working, Brooks, Oswald, and Scotty Medall placed 6th. In the 4x800 of Ian Eidson, Sean Kirshner, Miles Leach, and Jake Stevens placed 5th. In high jump, Luke Stoltz placed 8th. In pole vault, Medall placed 2nd. And in long jump, Brooks placed 3rd and Oswald placed 4th.
On Saturday, the boys golf team played in the Leo Invite, placing 5th out of 18 teams. Javin Gray hit a 71, Cole Collins with an 81, both Camden Lahr and Griffin Husband placed with an 84, and Austin Williams finished out the Vikes with a 95.
The boys volleyball team ended their season in sectionals with a loss against Homestead 3-1.
On Wednesday, the girls tennis team placed against Homestead, losing 4-1. In singles, Kylie Bernal won her match.
Last Tuesday, the girls softball team beat Logansport 5-3. Emma Helvey was 2 for 4. Both Maddie Butak and Zoe Stanley went 2 for 3, and Corinne Martz was 3 for 5. On Monday, they beat New Haven 13-1. Ava Polson went 3 for 3 at the plate with 4 RBIs. Kinley Landrum went 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs, and Corinne Martz went 3 for 4 with 1 RBI.
On Thursday, the boys baseball team played against Norwell, beating the Knights 5-4. Isaac Wilson went 3 for 3 with 1 RBI, and Cole Martz went 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. That's all for sports this week. Now let's go back to the desk.
Thanks, Wyatt. You may notice your Dell batteries have started to die quicker. Never fear, the Chromebook is here.
Here's this week's Teacher Spotlight.
Hello, I'm Chelsea Hainline, and I'm a biology and human body systems teacher at Huntington North High School. This is my 8th year teaching. Well, I kind of have a non-traditional route of getting to teaching, so I actually went to Purdue University for biochemistry and animal science and minored in biology. And my original plan was to go to vet school and become a vet. And I guess I kind of did some soul searching and reevaluating and decided that wasn't for me. I wanted a different lifestyle than that, with wanting a family and things like that. So I moved back home and I started substitute teaching in the corporation. And after doing that for a few months, I decided that my passion really was for teaching and helping young people And so I started a transition to teaching program through Taylor University and did that. And I was hired actually in the middle of that, and then started my teaching job in Viking New Tech and in the traditional high school as well. And and so that was kind of my route. And then after I got that, I got my traditional teaching license, and that's what brought me into teaching. Well, honestly, to begin with, it was because there was a job opening here. But what's kept me here is definitely that I grew up here. I went to Huntington North, and I know people in the community, and I love that I have connections in the community and that I know students. And now I'm having siblings of students that I've had. I've had families of students where I've had every child in the family, and I think that's a lot of fun. And also just being able to know community connections, to be able to use those connections to be able to teach to the best of my ability. With that, we raise money for Riley Children's Foundation throughout the year, and this year, a great group of kids, and we raised $11,600, so almost $12,000, and their goal was $10,000, so that was great. Throughout the year, we do a whole bunch of different fundraisers, from Nelson's Chicken to hot chocolate sales in the Commons to community donations. We do bucket wars between teachers at the high school with a pie in the face for the person that raises the most or the least. We do lots of different fundraisers, and then all of that goes to the palliative care, end of life, terminal care for children that are at Riley Children's Hospital. And so it's a really good cause and a really great thing. And I was a premature baby, and so I didn't go to Riley, but I definitely had a lot of doctors and medical care that I needed when I was first born. And so it's definitely a passion of mine because I love kids, and I hate to see families have to go through that. And so it's a way that I can give back, and another way I can work with the kids, because really I love teaching so much because I love teenagers. I love working with them. I think they're fun, and I think a lot of people don't give them as much credit as they're due. Yeah, there are some that were probably inappropriate, but I don't know if it's necessarily funny. It is a little bit, but it's really heartwarming as well. One year in Viking New Tech, I did a team building activity where we had puzzles, and I removed some of the puzzle pieces from the puzzles and like rearranged them and put them in other boxes. And the kids had to barter to be able to get their pieces back from other groups. And so with them doing that, then they were just doing they were being really nice about it. They were like, oh, can I give you a compliment, and can I have the piece? And we were like, come on, actually barter, maybe people will do stuff. Well, someone said that they would give them the puzzle pieces if this other student would sing Backstreet Boys in front of the class. So he actually did. He got up and sang Backstreet Boys in front of the class, and everybody had their phones, and they were had their camera or their flash on or whatever, and it was hilarious, and it was probably one of the best moments I've ever had in teaching. So I'm also sponsor of National Honor Society, and so that is something that you apply for when you're a junior, and then you'll be inducted at the end of your junior year throughout your senior year. And so it's an honor to be a part of that because it shows that you have been able to have a high academic rigor throughout your high school career, as well as you have to show scholarship and character and leadership and all of those other qualities as well. And so throughout their year, they're required to complete 40 hours of community service. A lot of those are sponsored by National Honor Society, or if you're already volunteering in the community, those are things that you can do outside on your own as well. And it really is just an opportunity for you to take a leadership position within an organization to maybe lead those kind of organizations. And I really enjoy doing it because I get to work with great kids once again, and I get to know them in a different level than I would necessarily in the classroom. And I really enjoy seeing the ideas that they come up with for community service opportunities. Last year we had a creepy crafts event that was successful for the first year. We had elementary students come in and do Halloween crafts in the cafeteria, and it was so much fun, and the kids planning it had a blast, and it's definitely something I'd like to see happen every year. I would say just know who you are and just do your best, but don't kill yourself to be perfect. Because coming from someone who was a perfectionist and still struggles with perfectionism, it's not going to get you anywhere other than giving yourself a headache all the time. So obviously, you want to do your best, and I want you to do your best, and that's what I expect in all of my classes, and I think a lot of teachers expect. But for me, I expect you to learn. I want you to learn. I want you to care about learning, and I want you to have passion for something. Find something that you're passionate about. And I understand not every class you take here is going to be your cup of tea or be something that you're super excited about, but I try to make my classroom fun, and I think most teachers try to do things that are engaging and interesting. So just try your best, try to engage in the information, and I think the more you put into it is you're gonna get more out of it as well. And I think that's true for anything in life. If you go into something with a bad attitude, you're probably not gonna enjoy it and it's gonna have a bad outcome. But if you go into it with a positive attitude and you try to put energy and excitement into it, you're probably gonna get more out of it than you would otherwise. Also, just be a kind human, you know? Like, we all have struggles. You don't know where people come from. You don't know their whole story. And a little act of kindness can go a long way. And I think that would make the world a heck of a lot better of a place if more people had that mentality.
Thank you, Mrs. Hainline. There's a call-up meeting in the auditorium for anyone interested in the stage crew for Viking Volume and Varsity Singers.
Blake is cooking something up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to the final Blaking Bad. Today we're going to be making Oreo sushi and garlic butter cheese bombs and a third and final surprise. Enjoy.
So for this first dish, we're going to be making Oreo sushi, which you need 24 Oreos, 3 tablespoons of milk, and 2 teaspoons of milk. The first thing you're going to want to do is separate the cookie from the cream. So you're going to get a knife and just scrape that off and do that 24 different times. And next you're going to add your 2 teaspoons of milk to your cream to make your cream filling. For your sushi, you're going to mash it up. You may have to use your hands until you get something that looks a little bit like this. Next, you're going to take all your cookies and place them into a blender with your 3 tablespoons of milk and blend them up eventually to get a nice dough. And once you have that dough, you're going to want to roll it out and flatten it out with a rolling pin. And then once you get it nice and flat like this, you're going to want to cut off the edges with a knife. So you're going to make a good rectangle shape. And then after you get your nice rectangle shape, you're going to place your cream filling on and spread it all across and then roll it up. And now, roll the B-roll. Next, we'll be making garlic butter cheese bombs. For that, we'll need 1 can of biscuit dough, some minced garlic, and then some parsley leaves, along with 8 cheese sticks, a stick of butter, and then finally, some mini pepperonis. First, we'll be chopping 8 cheese sticks in half twice to get fourths. I ended up chopping all of my cheese sticks, but you only need to chop 8. Next, we'll be rolling our 8 biscuits into nice little circles, or what we would call ovals around here. And once you get all of them nice and rolled up, you're going to want to place 4 of your little cheese stick slices in the center and then roll it up into a ball. And then you can add pepperonis to your discretion. You can add as many or as little as you would like. Next, we'll be making our garlic butter. So have 1/2 stick of butter and add minced garlic to your like, parsley to your like, and then add a little bit of salt to top it off. Once you have all 3 of those ingredients in there, you're going to want to mix it up nice and thoroughly, and once you have it all mixed up, you're going to put that on top of all of your cheese bombs. Once you have it all on your cheese bombs, you're going to place them in the oven at 425 degrees for 10 whole minutes. Once you take them out, you can top them off with the rest of your garlic butter, and then once you get them topped off, you can finally roll the B-roll. Our secret dish will include 1/4 cup water, 1 cup sugar, 6 tablespoons of corn syrup light, and a little bit of blue food coloring. We're going to want to add all of those into a nice pan with a burner on medium heat. And once all of our ingredients are in, we're going to want to stir until the sugar is finally dissolved. And once all of the sugar is dissolved, we're going to add a hint of blue food coloring. Make sure not to add too much. Then you're going to want to bring it to a boil till it hits about 300 degrees. then transfer over to a tin to cool. Mine actually took so long to cool that my camera died. So here's 20 seconds of me hitting it with a hammer. And now you've made blue glass from Breaking Bad. And for the final time, roll the B-roll.
Let's have a fantastic rest of the year, folks.
We'll have one last show next week for the 2022-2023 school year. See you then.
It came in a flash.